with the new year brings new resolutions. And some of these big goals that we set up, like investing better or learning a language or even reading the Bible, it seems like the best strategies for attaining all these goals are simple incremental steps or daily habits seem to get us there the fastest. Well, what I'd like to do for you is break down your fitness goals into those simple steps and or daily habits today on the Personal Edge Fitness Podcast.
Welcome to the Personal Edge Fitness Podcast
with Garrett Williamson.
Health, wellness, exercise, nutrition, and a whole lot more. Got questions? Call us and leave a message at 251-278-EDGE or message us at Personal Edge Fitness on Facebook and Instagram, at Team PE on Twitter, or personaledgefitness.com.
Well, good day and welcome to the Personal Edge Fitness Podcast. I'm your host, president of Personal Edge Fitness. My name is Garrett Williamson, and I'm coming to you from a rather different location. I have to start this off by saying that I believe my sound engineer, my podcast producer, my everything podcast genius is going to be rather upset with me today because of the setting I've chosen. Not so much that he doesn't like the setting, but I think it's going to affect the sound quality. And I have to tell you, I've done the best I can to stave off these gusts that we're having here in the setting. But I like this setting so much that I really wanted to film the first podcast of the year in this setting. Now, where we are is I'm in Mobile, but I'm in what I like to refer to as downtown Dog River. I'm sitting out on my dock right now, and I just think this view, even on the worst day, is incredible. And we're not having the best of days today. It's a little cloudy, a little overcast, and quite breezy. I appreciate you joining me either way. And Pablo, please forgive me, my friend. Okay. Look, we're talking about daily habits today and dealing with New Year's resolutions, but I first want to let you know how to get in touch with us if you have any questions concerning this podcast or any other, because actually I'm going to offer a few things in this podcast that if you may want to take advantage of, and I really want you to be able to reach out to us if you have any questions, because I'd give anything if for this new year everybody were to reach their goals. I've set up some of my own, and I'd like to see you reach yours. So to reach us here at the podcast, the Personal Edge Fitness Podcast, you can contact us via my email address, which is Garrett, Garrett, at personaledgefitness.com. You can contact us. We have a number. It's a phone line that's actually recorded messages, but we do respond to them immediately and answer your questions. The phone number is 251-278-3343. That's 251-278-EDGE, E-D-G-E. Isn't that neat? Fantastic. E-D-G-E 3343. If you reach out to us to our website, it's personaledgefitness.com, and of course our Facebook page, Personal Edge Fitness. Resolutions, New Year's resolutions. I've done this, I think I do this joke every year, and I've done this on several podcasts. I think I've made this comment every time I've talked about New Year's resolutions, because I was at a party several years ago, and one of my fellow Enophiles, the reason I call them that is it was a wine tasting that went on for about 4 hours. And so everybody was close to midnight, everybody was well lubricated. And one of my friends got up to give a toast, and he said, I hope your New Year's, all your problems in your New Year last as long as your New Year's resolutions do. And I found that funny. But of course, in my business, since the second most popular New Year's resolution is getting in shape, January is a big month for us. We hear a lot of people that are really wanting to start fresh and start anew. If you think about it, it's going from December 31st to January 1st. It's an overnight. There's not a magical transition except for the fact that it starts a new year. That plays with our mindset a little bit, which I like. I think it's great having that fresh start that we all feel on January 1 is significant and does bring about some good change. It's a great time to sit down and plan. I actually do my strategic plan for my business somewhere in June, but I do my strategic plan for my life in January, just like everybody else does. I sit down and actually write out goals for the year, and then I take those goals and I break them down into timelines when they're going to happen, because a goal without a timeline is actually a dream. And then I break them into simple steps or daily habits. Now, I'm going to give you some examples of something I was talking about in the intro. I was talking about attaining big goals and having daily habits. So just to show you what I'm talking about, I'm sure you're familiar with some of these, but there's a rather famous Catholic priest. His name is Mike Schmitz. He's one of the many people that have done this, but I know he directs this into a podcast, not just a listing or a book series, but he has a podcast that is a Bible in a year. And there's 365 different podcasts, and they're about 20 minutes long or so. But if you do as he says, you can actually break down reading the entire Bible in a year by committing about 15 minutes or so a day to it. And so it's breaking that rather large task into very easily attainable, or what I like to say digestible goals of simple steps of 15 minutes a day. Susie Orman, the investor that been in the media a lot, she has her own show, been out there for years, is famous for saying that if you're in your 20s, if you put away about $25 a week, $100 a month, and you do that every single week all the way until you're 65 in a simple fund that's tied to like the S&P, you should have $1 million by the time you're 65. Again, simple kind of daily habits, but basically small steps and simple investments in order to, have $1 million when you're 65. Language. Now, I was doing some reading. You'd see me looking down because I'm actually looking at some notes here because I want to make sure I get these names correct. But Lisa A., and it's Frankor, I believe that's correct. I may have that pronounced wrong. She's a senior director of language for Rosetta Stone. And I know that many of you have heard of Rosetta Stone. It's a language teaching software and an online service or whatever. But she says that you can learn pretty much any language by spending 30 minutes a day of directed study on most days of the week, not even every day. But most days of the week, you should be able to learn a language by the end of the year. And she says conversational, if not somewhat fluent in that language. These are just small examples. There's ones for organization. There's ones for about everything. But it got me thinking, that's the way I like to attack fitness. That's the way I like attacking big goals, because most people come to me with rather large goals. You may think of, I just want to lose 10 pounds. Well, that's a large goal, because to lose 10 pounds and maintain that weight loss, it does take a lifestyle change. So that's a big goal. Being able to run a 5K, being able to compete in a triathlon or a multisport event in a national championship, those are large goals. And in order to attain them, we want to break them into small steps. Most of my clients, most people that come to me, don't want to think about small steps. I didn't plan to come here to do small steps. We typically want to swing for the fences, and we want that 10 pounds in a week, and I want to drop this weight by the end of the month, or I want to have a 5K by the third or fourth race that I'm doing. I want to be sub 20 on a 5K, and I understand that. Of course, we become impatient when we go for our goals, but something that we are famous for saying is that no matter what goal somebody comes to me with, I always like to tell them that, look, no matter what, you're not working out, or you're not exercising, you're not maintaining a fit lifestyle at the level you will be once we're going in our program. They're not doing that. That's why they're coming to see us and make a change. And I always like to tell them that, look, no matter what, even if we do the worst program that we've ever put together, as long as you are doing these things, or you're exercising or making those changes, and you're maintaining them, you're being consistent about it, a year from now, you'll be in a healthier lifestyle. You will have maintained a healthier lifestyle. You may be in a healthier lifestyle starting the first day, but if you maintain it, you will reach those goals. You'll reach the ultimate goal, which I've talked about in my very first podcast, and the one that we're all searching for, which is reaching what we call your level of wellness. Let me give you some examples about what I'm talking about. Now, I'm gonna pick a few different topics, but I may not hit yours. And if I don't hit yours, please feel free to contact us. At this beginning of the year, we love helping people put together a program to reach that level of wellness, to hit your goals, to make that fitness change you want to make. So please contact me and let me know what your goals are. Send it to me. Send me the steps that you're doing. I'd love to hear them. I'll talk about them in future podcasts. But if I can help you, or any of my staff can help you, please contact us at 251-278-3343. That's 251-278-EDGE. You can also contact me at personaledgefitness.com. I'm staying on the stock no matter what, I promise, no matter what that wind does. Or you can also contact me at Garrett, Garrett, at personaledgefitness.com. You can contact our general line, which is info at personaledgefitness.com. And through our website, personaledgefitness.com, and our Facebook page. Well, let's get into it right now and talk about some of these daily steps, some of these simple changes. One of the most common one that I talk about quite often, is of course going to be making that simple change that can change so much in your life. And that is, of course, drinking water. Now, I've talked about this before, but you may not remember. It's okay. If you want to hear everything about drinking water and what it does for you and making sure that you're getting enough water a day, check out podcast number 4, The Secret to Fat Loss. It's all about drinking water. But I'm showing on the camera here for those that are watching us on social media, my Personal Edge Fitness water bottle. You can see through the rubber bands it says Personal Edge Fitness. And this water bottle has, of course, my famous rubber bands. They're actually Personal Edge Fitness rubber bands. And I'm tracking my water that way. Now, the way to get going with this, and I talk about this in depth on podcast number 4, but the way to get going with this is to, of course, set a baseline. And your first part of your baseline is making sure you have your water everywhere it's socially acceptable to have a water bottle. Make sure you have that water bottle with you. And I want you to put rubber bands on it. And when you pick a water bottle, contact us at Personal Edge. We'd love to send you one. But if you want to use one of ours, we use a 20-ounce water bottle. I recommend that amount. I think it's fantastic. Some people, it works for their head to use a 33-ounce or a 50-ounce water bottle. I wouldn't say go much lower than 20 ounces, though. If it's an 8-ounce water bottle, it's going to require you to fill it up way too much. I wouldn't recommend that. But a 20 ounce is a good thing to go with. Put rubber bands on it. Put enough rubber bands so that you'll equal 100 ounces. Now, what I mean by that is every rubber band represents a bottle of water. And so I've got on mine, I say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've got 120 ounces represented here. And what you do simply is the first day is to set that baseline. Carry that water bottle everywhere you go and find out how much water you drink in one day. Don't try to set a record. Just make sure it's with you all day and drink water as you go throughout the day. At the end of the day, find out how much you've had to drink. You may surprise yourself. Again, I don't recommend trying to set a record. What I recommend is trying to set a baseline. Just find out how much you drink in that day, and you may find out you've only had 20 ounces. You may find out you've had 30 ounces. Whatever that baseline is, you're going to start there. Now, what I mean by starting there is that for the next 7 to 10 days, you're not going to go below that number. You can go above it. But whatever you do, don't go below that number. It doesn't matter what day of the week it is. You do not go below that number. At the end of, right at 7 to 10 days, I say 7 because some people will do it in a week. Some people it takes a little longer for your body to regulate. But 7 to 10 days, add another bottle. Add another 20 ounces. Stay at that number. Don't go below it. You can go above it, but don't go below it. Stay at that number, again, for another 7 to 10 days. Keep that process up and add another bottle at 10 days until you're over 100 ounces a day. And then stay there the rest of your life. I'm telling you, cutting calories, cutting cravings, reducing hunger, increasing your energy level, increasing your thought process, making you think quicker, making you look younger, literally hydrating your skin. There's so many things that drinking water does, and that is a simple, day-by-day, daily habit that you can break down, and I'm telling you, well before the end of the year, you will be drinking 100 ounces of water. You'll be doing that, should be doing that in a matter of a month or two at the most. And then by the end of the year, you've got it into a daily habit, and I'm telling you that will change your life. How about, you talk about these Couch to 5K programs. There's another fantastic program to do as a Couch to 5K. But, even before we get to concerning ourselves with running a 5K, or if we want to do that, or even walking one, it's just tracking steps. There are so many different devices out there, everything from your iPhone to your iWatch to Garmin devices, Fitbits, you name it. Lord, there's myriad of them I'm not thinking of right now that track your daily steps. And by tracking your steps, you can actually improve your calorie expenditure. Now, if you remember in the podcast that I talked about metabolism, it's nothing more than calories in, calories out. You want to make sure that you've got more calories going out than you have going in. If you do that, you're going to lose weight, period, end of story. If you have the same amount going out that you have going in, you're going to maintain weight, and you have less going out than you have going in, then of course you're going to gain weight. And if you burn, I've got these in my notes, so pardon me for reviewing my notes here, but the number that a lot of people tend to go with is 10,000 steps a day. And that's a great number. It's a really good goal. But let's say that may be intimidating for you. You may have never tracked a step ever, and may sound like a large number, or you may have tracked steps and find out you're only getting in 2,000, 2,500. Okay, let's lower the bar a little bit. Let's start with 5,000. Start with 3,000. Find your number in there that makes you comfortable, and then add, after 7 to 10 days, add another 1,000. Keep going there until you up your number. 1,000 steps is really not a tremendous amount. But to let you know, just to give you an idea of calorie burn, 5,000 steps a day is an extra 176 calories burned, period. Doesn't sound like a lot, I know, but it's 176 less than you were taking in the day before. Highly recommend tracking those steps. It also gives you, not only something to be accountable to, but it also gives you a goal. You know, I said it earlier that a goal without some sort of a timeline is a dream. Well, it works also with accountability. An established goal, not just I'm going to walk more, but I'm going to hit 10,000 steps. I'm going to hit 5,000, 10,000, 15,000 steps. 10,000 steps a day, 352 calories, an average adult. 352 calories extra burned a day just by walking 10,000 steps. I mentioned the Couch to 5K program, and I can get more in-depth about that. You're welcome to contact us. We'd love to set you up a program to get you there. And those programs are easy. The majority of them start off with 2 days a week worth of actual exercise. I mean, and that exercise is everything from 5 minutes of walking, 2 minutes of running or jogging, and then 5 minutes of walking. A couple of days a week. All the way till the end of like 10 to 12 weeks, you're actually competing in a 5K, whether you're walking it or you're running it. Simple way of making changes, breaking it down into simple daily habits, simple steps to attain it. How about lifting weights? Trainers have all kinds of different ideas of how to start a lifting program or how to start a fitness program as far as resistance training is concerned. But let me give you something very simple. It's what I call the 3-5-10-15 program. If you're not working out right now, if you're not lifting weights, I do not recommend rushing into a program and trying to set a record that first day. You'll see this on typically January 2nd, January 3rd. You have people go into a fitness facility and they feel great. Boy, they go at it really, really hard. By the end of the week, they are needing to take the day off because they're so sore. They're in pain. They're not able to maintain that pace. Instead of doing that, go for 3-5-10-15. Here's what I mean. Pick 3 to 5 exercises. Just 3 to 5. I'll give you 3 to 5 exercises. Real simple. Sit-ups, push-ups, and squats. And when I say squats, I mean stand up and sitting down out of a chair. 3 exercises. They're fantastic. They cover almost full body. And they're just 3 simple exercises. If you're doing nothing now, doing those 3 exercises will make a big difference. And spend 10 minutes doing those exercises. Just sit-ups, push-ups, squats. If you want to go to 5 exercises and you feel like you're in better shape than a sit-up, a push-up, a squat, a pull-up or a jumping pull-up, simple lateral raises, shoulder raises, that's 5 exercises. Spend 15 minutes doing those. But do them most days of the week. And what I would say do them every other day, depending on your level of soreness. Now, that sounds like a very, very simple program. Oh, I can do that. That's no problem. If you're doing nothing right now, your potential for maintaining that, your potential for being consistent in those exercises is far better if you pick that small goal of 3 to 5 than I'm going to go to the fitness facility and do full body 4 days a week. You're going to be far more successful with that smaller goal. After 2 weeks, add to it. Either add time or add an exercise or add intensity to the exercises. Don't do all 3. Either time, the time you actually spend doing the exercises, the intensity of the exercise, which can be done by time, but you can raise the weight on it, or add another exercise. But I would not do all 3 at the same time. Again, you're going to set yourself up for failure if you go too fast. Again, simple daily habits, simple changes to make a difference in your lifestyle and actually help you attain that level of wellness. I know this seems, I've used the word simple so much, I know this seems so simplistic, but pardon the rain here. But what I want to encourage you to do is I would love to see everybody hit their goals and use the same process that we use in our Catalyst program of making some simple changes to attain a lifestyle, make a lifestyle change in 16 weeks. Well, it's good that I'm kind of running out of my time. Speaking of Catalyst, I'm going to be speaking about that in depth in my next podcast next week, so please be sure to stay tuned. I believe that's going to be all from me. I think somebody's trying to tell me to end my podcast. So listen, this is Garrett Williamson, president of Personal Edge Fitness. Thank you so much for joining me today. Simple daily habits, another way we help you reach a level of wellness.
Thanks for listening to the Personal Edge Fitness Podcast with Garrett Williamson. Subscribe now and be a part of the show by calling 251-278-EDGE or message us on Facebook and Instagram at Personal Edge Fitness or at Team PE on Twitter, and visit us at personaledgefitness.com.